I did a brief video going over what different RPEs should feel like because it's kind of a question I do get quite a bit actually. And the answer is that it's going to feel kind of different for everyone. There is no universal kind of feeling for an RPE 8, 7, 6, 9, etc. I think an RPE 10 is kind of universal. Pretty much. Yeah, I mean, there's going to be nothing left. So let's start around a 6 because that's kind of the lowest usually that I will probably prescribe, unless it's kind of speed work, which can be used for some people in some situations, but probably not for most of you. So RP 6, so that is going to be super light. Like, that's going to feel not much more difficult than a warm-up. In many cases it will be a warm-up. There's going to be 4 reps left in the tank, so that's going to move so fast. Obviously if you're doing reps, it's going to be a little bit harder to gauge than a single. But if it's a single at 6, like, that's going to move, that's going to fly. There's obviously going to be 0 sticking points. It's just going to move from A to B and look like a warm-up. And you say, yeah, 3 reps, maybe 4. Like, yeah, for sure. So that's an RP 6. RP 6.5 would be, yeah, there's probably another few reps there. Maybe 4. Don't know, but definitely another few. It's kind of the way I'm looking at it. And then RP 7 would be a little bit more difficult. Shouldn't be any sticking points still, and it should move smoothly from A to B, and there should be 3 difficult reps in the tank. So it's not, you know, oh, there'll be 3 there, that'll be 3 nice reps. It should be, there'll be 3 there at a push, and your last one will be a grinder. So there'll be 3 extra reps there, including the rep you've just done, including the last rep you've just done. So again, on rep work, it's a little bit harder to tell, but there should be 3 reps in the tank. And again, RP 7.5, that'll be, there's 2 there definitely, 3 maybe. So that's the way I think about it. When it's half, so yeah, probably somewhere in between. RP 8, so that's going to be a little bit slower. There may be a little sticking point, depending on what type of lifter you are. If you're a lifter that can grind things out, there's probably going to be a little bit of, you know, stickiness to it potentially, but it's going to be smooth. And again, yeah, you've got another 2 there, another 1, maybe 2 there, and that's the idea behind it. It should not be, you could maybe do a bit more weight. That's not an 8. People do it all the time, single at an 8, and you look at it and go, if I put 2.5 kilos on the bar, you would fail. That is not an RP8. An RP8 is saying that you have 2 more reps in the tank. There'll be 2 hard reps, but you've got them there. And are you going to look silly when you put another 5 kilos on the bar next week and fail? Don't know. So RP8 is saying there's 2 hard reps in the tank, and you'd fail the 3rd one. RP 8.5. See that? This is where it gets a little easier in a way. You go, yeah, there's another rep there. I think you probably failed the 2nd one though. And that's why it gets a little bit easier, because it's kind of easier to visualize. You think, yeah, I could do another one. I'm not sure on the one after that though. And then that obviously leads to RP 9, which is just, if I had to, there'd be 1 there. If I had to, I could grind out another one. And then RP 9.5 is when it gets to, definitely couldn't do another rep. Maybe I could do another 2.5 to 5 kilos. Maybe I could. RPE 10, we know that's the competition grinder, and you just make it, and it's it's everything that you have, not 2.5 kilos more on the bar for sure. So yeah, just want to wrap that up quickly, just to go over the RPs again, just because I think there's some confusion sometimes. Oh yeah, that was at an 8, and you think you wouldn't get another rep, like you'd fail another rep. So let's stay honest to this, and it's not easy. It's not easy. It's a skill, like anything. It's a skill to learn over time. And if you're starting this out early on and it's your first time using RPE, don't expect to know it overnight. But over time, you'll really start to paint this picture of what your ability is. Okay, yeah, I've got another 1 rep there, another 1.5. I've got another maybe 2 there. You'll be able to rate your RPEs effectively. And please, when you do so, obviously fill in your dashboard. Fill in your dashboard when something is out of whack. If you're getting crazy suggestions, if your estimated numbers start to look wrong, have a look at your dashboard. Is it filled in with the correct numbers? So it's kind of maybe another video, but just make sure you're filling in the dashboard when the RPEs are starting to change, when things start to move in a positive or negative direction, to make sure you're getting correct estimations. And obviously if it's a one-off, there's no need to really change it. Let's look for long-term trends. So anyway, that's a little thing on RPE. A little harder to gauge, you're a slow lifter. Sometimes people coach that they do 1 rep and I'm like, that's it, that's game over. They do 2 more. And I think, oh, okay, that's it, game over. And they do another 2. So if you're in that camp, it's going to be a little bit harder for me to look at it and see. And that's where over time you will understand, okay, I can keep going on this, and you can be able to rate it a bit more effectively. And again, if you're on the opposite end of that, if you're an explosive lifter, where this is going to be more a high bar squatter, this is going to be a closer stance bench, and deadlifts, not so much kind of, it's not as variable really, because it's not just sumo conventional. People can grind out either, or hit and miss either. I would say the only factor would be a flat back deadlifter. A flat back deadlifter will have an opportunity to grind out lifts. A rounded back deadlifter will hit or miss just above the knee. So yeah, if you're a high bar squatter or someone with a narrow stance that uses a lot of stretch reflex out of the hole, potentially faster down to the hole, you will hit or miss squats. You will hit a squat and people will go, oh my god, that was so easy, chuck another 10-20 kilos on the bar, honestly that was so easy. And potentially you think, I don't know if I could do another 2.5-5 kilos. So people are like that, bit hit and miss, whereas some people can grind it out. Usually a low bar squatter that knows how to grind, often a little bit more experience as well. With the bench, yeah, close grip, doing reps on close grip, I'm sure features in most of my programs, depending on who you are. But if you're doing close grip, you think, oh, this is so easy, bang, flies off the chest, doesn't it? Flies off the chest. You think that's so easy. 2 more there, easy, and you go for another rep, and it comes up and you get stuck 3/4 of the way, halfway. You think, fuck. So again, RP is a little bit harder to rate on that one as well. So, but over time you'll start to know, okay, honestly I don't think I could have done another one, because I got halfway and I reckon my triceps and we had to lock it out. Also as well, please remember that RPE does include your conditioning. So if you do a set of 8 and it was at a 9, it was at a 10, you would have ground out another one, and you probably would have failed the next one because of fatigue, because of conditioning. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That's your RPE. You don't say, oh well, the thing that really gave out was my lungs, or my lower back was so fatigued. That's fine if it did, but please put down your RPE as the correct number. Do not think that, well, if it wasn't for the lower back pump and me being so out of breath, pissing with sweat, oh, that would have been an RPE 7, because it moves so fast, that last rep. But I don't think I could have got another one. Well, then it's not an RPE 7 or 8, it's an RPE 9, 9.5 or 10, depending on what you're saying. If you say, yeah, it was really fast, I reckon it was probably about an 8, but I don't think I could get another one. That is an oxymoron. That is, those two things cannot exist in the same sentence. Because an RPE is saying you have 2 reps in the tank. Saying you have no more reps in the tank, or 1 in the tank, but you reckon it was RPE 8, makes no sense. So let's, think about that, because I will not say that I've never had that before. Oh yeah, those squats, those sets of 8 to 10 were a killer, man. My lower back was fucked, and I was blowing out my arse, but yeah, I don't even know if I had another rep there. And then I checked the log, and RPE 7.5. No, RPE 9. So let's remember that. And also remember that there's nothing heroic about overshooting your RPEs and going balls to the wall every single session. Be aggressive in your approach to picking numbers. Aim for more. Strive for more. Don't be so analytical in your session that you're like mid-set thinking, oh, what RPE is this? Just go for it and rate it afterwards. But do not be heroic. Oh no, if it's a bad day on your warm-ups, especially the stronger lifters, the stronger guys, if it's a bad day on your warm-ups, regulate, because fatigue will get you. Some days I'm taking potentially 20-25 kilos off the bar for a top set, estimations in the gutter, predictions in the gutter, because of fatigue. If I had tried to go for my top set, that based off my estimated numbers, and even if I'm filling in the dashboard correctly and so on, I would probably fail. So please do not fail in the gym. Please do not fail in the gym. Regulate. Realise things in your warm-ups. This feels worse than normal. Be a little bit cautious on my top set. Maybe I'll do a lighter set first, and if it feels good I can go up the next set and just change the RPEs around. Be smart in your attempts. Do not be heroic. Do not think, oh well, last week was good at, let's just say 140, so this week I'm going to do 145 or 142 based off last week, and you're warming up and 120 feels horrible. Let's not, be silly. Like if 120 feels like 140 last week, let's cap it there, or maybe go a little bit heavier, depending on how you're feeling. But let's not get silly. Oh, well, no, I should be doing this because I want to. What does that fucking mean? Oh, well, I want to do it, so what, load it up and fail? Like, that's not how it works, unfortunately. I wish it was that easy. It's all about peaks and troughs in training and riding it. And this is one of the best things about regulation training, is that on the days where, let's just take an example where you think, last week 140 was so good, so easy. 145, 142 easily this week should go. And you're working up, and 130, maybe your last warm-up, feels absolutely horrible. Horrible. You think maybe that was an RPE 8. Let's say that was a protocol. Work up to an RPE 8 single. You hit your 130, think, do you know what, truthfully that was an RPE 8. I don't even know if I could do 2 more. Well, let's take person A. Person A loads it up to 145 or 142. Fuck it attitude. Heroic. Let's do this. And they fail, or they grind it up, just about get it. Let's take person A, who fails, completely demoralised. I did 140 last week, it moved so good, and I've just failed this, I feel like shit, I feel rubbish, questioning my life, I'm questioning existence, what's the point of it all, etc, etc. Fuck it, I'm going home. Today's not my day, I'll try another day. I'm going to go home. Well, with my style of programming, you're going to have a lot of work to this week, so you can't just keep pushing days back. You push a day back, then you're pushing weeks back, then you're pushing months back, and who knows what you've even done. You know, truthfully, you should zero your whole workout off and on to the next day, because that's how it should work. I know some of you don't do that, but that is how to get the best out of this programming, is when you miss a day, zero it off, do not collect your money and move on. So that will give an accurate representation of what you're doing each week. That's what I do too. You zero it off and move on. So then you know, going back into training, 0, 0, 0, 0. Right, maybe that's why my bench has not gone anywhere, because for the last 3 weeks, I've zeroed off 3 days. It's 3 bench workouts. It's really important to do that. So, anyway, let's take person A, 0 zeros off, I'm going home, see you later. Total work capacity that session, almost nothing, no stimulus created. Person B grinds out 142, 145, whatever it may be, grinds it out, gets it, absolutely trashed from that. Back off sets are super light, they're trashed, everything hurts. Maybe they hurt their elbow doing that set. Maybe they've injured themselves doing that set. Okay? Grinds it out, absolute slog of a session, gets through it. Next session they come in. Guess what? Feels like shit. Feel like shit again. Okay, let's take person C. The smart person does 130 last warm up, and truthfully it was an 8. He goes, you know what? I'm calling it there today. It's not what I wanted. I'm calling it there. I'm just fatigued. The person then does back off sets. Let's just say 115, 120. Absolutely flies up. It's not good for them, but it flies up. It moves really well. Then that person does all their assistance work and what have you. Not injured. They're not necessarily happy with the numbers they did, but they got a tremendous amount of work in. If you add up the total volume of the session, it would have been many, many times the volume of the person who quit, and probably even more than the person who did a grinder of a set and then a few back off sets, but not really much, and left. And maybe that person was injured, but you're not, because you played it smart. And guess what? When you come to your next session, you're going to be fresh, or more fresh, because that session where you didn't feel good, you've regulated, you've taken things back. So then your next session, like a slingshot, you're going to be ready for it, because you haven't just keep grinding yourself down every session, grinding down. You're feeling like shit, you've had a deloaded session due to regulation, and then that session has enabled you to recover because you're giving your body less stimulus. And when the next session comes around, same exercise, you feel a little bit fresher. Maybe you perform better. So person C performs better the next session, and he goes on. And so he continues. And he has really good days, even better weeks, and even better training cycles, and fantastic years. Person B, well, unfortunately they injured their elbow on that set that they ground out, true RPE 10, in training, 12 weeks out from a competition, and going to have to take a few weeks off benching. So they're going to set themselves back a bit. And person A, who missed it and did no work, has got back in the gym and he's training again, but he missed a whole session. Not a big deal, but keep doing that. 1 day a week, maybe 1 day every couple of weeks. Add that up over a year. Person A might have missed, I don't know, maybe 20, 25 bench sessions, 20 bench sessions an entire year. You know, that adds up. So, a few examples there, going over some RPE. Hope that helps. Hopes that makes you think a little bit about your decisions in the gym. I really hope it makes you realise that, you know, to not be heroic and regulate properly, and you will get the best results. And it isn't always easy to see, and that's the biggest thing I've learned. And I wish I was doing that 5 years ago, and I would not have had as many injuries. Injuries are somewhat inevitable, but I would not have got injured the way I have done before. Been injured quite a few times, doing stupid shit, and I know if I just regulated, not being so hot-headed and hard-nosed and pushing for that PB all the time when it's not there, when you're fatigued, maybe I wouldn't be injured. And again, take that person C, keep plodding along. Anyway, speak soon.